Welcome back to Market Day Report. Today's July 1st, and markets aren't disappointing. Lots of volatility. And when we talk volatility, when I talk about the grain markets, I love to talk about corn. Let's head to the corn board and see how things are doing. Looking at SEP corn, 401 and a quarter, down 6. Dees corn, 415, down 5 3/4. Lots of volume trades in corn. Matter of fact, I have a little tidbit for you all. Last week, corn had its highest volume day since Ukraine war. Moving over to soybeans. SEP soybeans, 10.95, down 5. Nov soybeans didn't hold that $11 level, 10.98 and a quarter, down 5 3/4. Let's move over to wheat. Border trade wheat. SEP border trade wheat, 5.79 and a quarter, up 5 3/4. Dees border trade wheat, 6.02, up 5 and a quarter. It's nice to see one of the grain complexes up. Hard red wheat is next and still not disappointing us. SEP hard red wheat, 5.87, up 3/4. Dees hard red wheat, 6.03 and a half, up a quarter. Let's head up north. Just got off the phone with my good buddy Timmy G from Mayville, North Dakota. He did ask, Tommy, why do the markets continue to go down? I'm going to let our next guest get the easy questions. SEP spring wheat, 6.18 and a half, up 5 3/4. Dees spring wheat, 6.38 and a quarter. Last but not least, let's move to cotton, and then after that, we'll bring in our next guest. Cotton, 72.21, up 23. Dees cotton, 72.88, up 20. With that, let's bring in Ben Hushin from the mill. How you doing this morning, Ben?
Good morning, Tommy. In fact, I would tell you everybody in our area is doing great. Last week when I talked on Tuesday, we were in a dry, hot spell, continued hot right on through Saturday, and then the rain began. June 5th was the last time we had any decent amount of rain, more than a tenth, and we got anywhere from an inch to an inch and a half of rain. And I can tell you right up till Saturday evening when those thunderstorms rolled in, combines were rolling. In fact, I'm standing in a field here that was harvested right before that. And I can tell because it does not have any double crop soybeans planted in it. So I can tell you last week was a wide open week. And again, it's great for any wheat harvest. And folks were telling us on the wheat harvest side, Tommy, that pretty much yields are down 20 to 25 bushel year over year. But that's coming off at 2023, which was record yields in pretty much the entire mid-Atlantic. So it's awful hard to match a record back-to-back years.
Yeah.
But I tell you, this community, we're really, really happy that we've got that rain, because you'll see next week, I'll give you a little sneak peek, corn is going to be tasseling here by the 4th of July. So the old adage, knee high by the 4th of July, that's become tassel begins at the 4th of July in our area.
Ben, it's just interesting to learn about all American agriculture. People want to know where all these bushels come from, and you and some of my clients, you might be called someone who's in the fringe acres. Not that that's a compliment, but everyone in America has become so much better at growing grain. We have about 30 seconds left. Let's talk about those fringe acres and how it all matters.
You know, it's interesting, Tommy, when I tell people that I work in Maryland and southern Pennsylvania, northern Maryland, southern Pennsylvania, they go, what kind of corn yields do you get? And they're expecting me to say 130 or 140, but pretty typical now. Expectations are 200 bushel or more on the corn side. And I can tell you, anybody that didn't see some 90 plus bushel on their yield monitor in a couple farms, they're disappointed, because 100 bushel on the wheat is the new number in this area that people expect to get. High management, but expect to get.
Awesome. Ben, so nice to meet you. Ben Hushin, the mill, coming to us live. That is not a green screen behind you, correct, sir?
Correct.
All right.
Standing in a recently harvested field.
I love it. We're going to take a little commercial break, and we'll be back with Market Day Report right after this. Welcome back to Market Day Report. I'm Tommy Grisafi. We're going to take a look at what I call the CME livestock market. We're going to head down to the live cattle pits. Of course, as you know, if you're as old as me, there's not cattle pits anymore. It's all trading on the screen. And we're seeing some busy markets here as we come into the beginning of July. Let's first look at August live cattle, 184 even, down 140, seeing a little selling in the cattle market. Oct live cattle, 183.55, down 132. East live cattle, 185, down 90. Well, if you're talking cattle, you got to go over to feeders. Let's see if feeders are the leaders. Not today, as funds are moving money around. August feeder cattle, 257.20, down $2. Sep feeders, 257.70, down $1.95. Oct feeders, 257.82.5, down $2. Now, our guest before said that he thought maybe hogs could start to see a rally here pretty soon. Let's see if that's happening. August hogs, 89.95, up 45. Oct hogs, 75.37, down 35. Dees hogs, 69.25, down 60. Well, we've talked live cattle, we've talked feeder cattle, we've talked hogs. What could we talk about next? 4th of July, and as you know, it's going to be grilling season. We expect a lot of people to fire up the grills, but what happens after grilling season? That's when we're starting to think we could lose a little demand. I talked to some clients last week, and they thought with the lower grain prices, maybe you'd see a bid in that feeder cattle market, but you're not. Maybe the mathematics look a little better, but our prior guest said, will they restock the shelves? Will the grocers put that beef and pork back in? We know there's going to be great demand coming this 4th of July. I, myself, had to spend the weekend in Nashville, and I can tell you there was a lot of consumption of things here. Well, I'm going to hand it back to Suzanne, but I will tell you, things look good. The economy in Nashville seems very healthy.
I got to tell you, I don't think anybody seems like, they don't look like they're struggling anyway, but we do get concerned. You know, when Scott is here, he often talks about how people are living on credit card debt. And I think we see a lot of people just throwing down cards, not really paying attention to those interest rates. And it's going to be a hard blow come time to pay the bill on that.
Yeah, last week we noticed Walgreens stock traded down significantly. Nike stock, really disappointing on break. I'll check on those stocks and see how they're doing.
Looking forward to that. By the way, did you have a good time in Nashville getting to spend the weekend here?
Took in a concert, had the family
here. Did you get a steak? Did you get a...
I wasn't asked to go on stage and sing, but it was an active weekend nonetheless.
And I was asking if you got a steak.
Oh, did I get a steak? I thought you... Well, we had some special guests singing on stage. Yeah, I had steak. Yeah, we had a great time.
Expensive, right? Pricey.
Everything's pricey, yeah. But, you know, that's just part of the deal. That is our new American economy. Prices have went up. They don't typically come down after they go up like that, Suzanne.
Yeah, so kind of just maintaining. A lot of people not happy about that. Thank you, Tommy. It's tough times.